Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another one of my videos for Altenue. Today I'll be showing you how I created this layout using two products, the Floral Drape stencil and the Succulents stamp set. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the top part of my background using the stencil, and I'm just going to adhere that with some tape to the paper so that it won't move around. Then I'm going to be using the Sweet Dreams oval crisp ink set, which has 4 colors in it: Dewdrop, Aqualicious, Teal Cave and Galactic Dreams. And I'm going to be using Dewdrop, Aqualicious and Teal Cave. And I'm just starting with a lighter color and adding that to the top part of the stencil, and then I'm going to add a little more darker color, but not all over, just a bit around the sides, and I'll go in with some Teal Cave just to create a little bit more depth at the top. And then I'm going to flip everything around, and I'm going to work on the other side. Now I did put a whole strip of that tape on the bottom part so that I had a little bit of room to play with and I wouldn't get any ink on the bottom part of the background paper. So here I'm using a lovely purple shades, which is called Shade of Purple set, and I'm going to be using the soft lilac, lavender fields, and I'll add a bit of the deep iris as well, just to create some extra depth around the borders of the little leaves. And then all I have to do is pull that away and I can start working on the bottom part. Now we can tackle the bottom part of the layout. Here I'm going to stamp a row of these beautiful succulents in pots, and in advance I created a couple of masks of the 2 larger images, and this will help me when I stamp the second image over it. You could just simply line them up, but I think you get a more realistic look if you use a mask. So I'm just going to add these masks and then stamp over them. I'm using permanent black ink from Altenue because I will be watercoloring the images afterwards. As you can see with the masks, you can easily just add layers behind the stamped images. So now that I have got my images stamped, I did leave them to dry overnight just to make sure that the black ink wouldn't smudge when I add my watercolors. This is a really good ink for watercoloring and even for using markers. So if you would like to color your succulents with markers, alcohol markers, go ahead and do it. You could use watercolors. I'm just going to use the same inks as I used at the top of the page. So I'm staying with those lovely shades of purple and that lovely blue teal color as in the Floral Drape stencil. So here I just added a little bit of that ink to an acrylic block, or you could add this to a craft sheet, and I'm using a watercolor pen and just adding color to the succulents. Now for the pots, or the planters, however you call them, I'm going to be using 2 shades of brown, Mocha and the lighter shade Rocky Shore, and just add a little bit of color and depth to those pots. Once the background image is dry, I can start creating my layout. I'm using a photo of one of the lavender fields. This is a photo I took on our summer vacation. And for my title, I'm going to be using 2 stamps from the Superscript scrapbook set, which has lots of lovely large scripted words, which are super to use for titles in scrapbooking. And I'm going to pair that with some chipboard alphabet stickers from the Our Family collection, and I also had this little die cut which I created using the same stamp set, but I used the die to cut the word now out. All I have to do is add a couple of little details using these little enamel dots, which you can also get in the Altenew store and which match our colors perfectly. And I'll have to add a little bit of journaling, and that's the finished layout. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely day, and I'll be back really soon with another video for Altenew. Bye bye.